faces tell me you found some good stories.
Paimon thought we agreed not to bring that one up.
It's okay. I find it quite interesting. I didn't realize that this was how ordinary people viewed the Shogun. She would never use the Muso no Hitotachi as frivolously as she does in the pages of this book, nor would she ever use it as a means of venting emotions. In reality, the reason for drawing her blade determines the martial form to use and the degree of power with which to imbue it. Since there is such a great deal of difference between the story and the reality, I don't feel offended at all. On the contrary, I find the author's powers of imagination quite admirable. That said, I hear that Yae Publishing House's novels are all reviewed by Miko herself, which means that the content of this book must have been approved by her. In fact, no. It may even have been her idea in the first place.
So what do you think of Yae Publishing House's light novels, eh? Do you like the stories we picked?
What I take from these stories is not so much the content itself, but what they represent in terms of the effects of time upon Inazuma. Back when I decided to isolate myself in the plain of Euthymia, there was no Yae Publishing House, and certainly no stories of this kind. In accordance with my wishes, the Shogun did her best to create an eternal nation. A nation that, in theory, should remain entirely unchanged over time. But the fact is that both the food and the stories have changed with time. I disagree with your point of view. That's what I would say if we were still in the plane of Euthymia. But the truth is right here in front of my eyes, and I can't deny it.
And that's exactly why we brought you out, to take a look around and get some fresh ideas. Sure, it's not the same as you remember, but one way or another, people are loving life in the present. That's gotta be a good thing, right?
Yes, you're right. I'm wary of any and all change, but I do not wish for my pursuit of eternity to stop human lives from changing for the better. Thank you for inviting me out. This trip has been quite eye-opening for me. This may be an everyday occurrence for you, but for me, this trip has been quite an occasion. I've seen a lot, and it's made me think a lot. I really can't praise it highly enough. I hope I will remember it for a long time to come.
Ooh, great idea! A's had a wonderful time, and a photo is the best way to remember it.
Take a photo? Once again, I'm faced with a combination of words that makes absolutely no sense to me.
It's okay. Come with us. We'll find a scenic spot and...
Stop adding weird words to the characters. Shogun reasons.
So, what are we supposed to be doing?
We're taking a photo of you. Just leave the hard work to us. All you need to do is stand over there and strike a pose. Basically, a photo makes a visual record of you at this very moment in time, so it makes a great souvenir.
Okay, so what exactly is striking a pose? How about this? This feels quite natural. All right. Well, I'll leave the decision to you. Casual. How about this? This feels quite natural. Okay, let's get started.
Let's pick a good angle to...
So a photo is a... Fascinating.
It's a wrap! Take a look! Here's the photo we took of you.
Wow. This is astonishing. Is it some kind of magic? It seems to be another copy of me. But she doesn't seem to be able to move or talk. I thought it would turn out poorly because I felt rather rigid, but it actually looks more natural than I imagined. The pose is exactly the same, and so is the scenery in the background. I can't imagine how it's achieved.
That's what makes it so special!
Hang on. I'm still struggling to understand this. I need you to explain it again. So, the one in this photo, are you sure it isn't me? If it's not me, then why does she look exactly like me? And if she is me, then who am I?
Okay, that's way above Paimon's head. Over to you, Traveler. Hey, that's right! Do you think the Shogun counts as you?
Of course I do. It was never my intention to place control of Inazuma into anybody else's hands.
So then, who does that make you, here and now?
Well, I'm still me. There is no doubt about that. My existence? I think I understand. I am me. There is only one of me, but I can exist in many different forms. It's not important what form I exist in. The Shogun, for example, is one of my forms of existence. The question of whether or not she is me is not determined by any of her components.
In that case, this picture is one of your forms of existence too.
So even I, who seeks eternity, am constantly changing my form of existence. Then, how can I ask Inazuma and everyone who lives here to remain unchanging?